Hey, hockey fans, and welcome back to another edition of Puck My Life. Tonight, I am joined with Jose. How we doing, sir?
Doing good, doing good.
Yeah, so you having a good day so far?
Yeah, slept in, ate some crackers, chilled out. It's life.
Well, you ready to talk about our experience at the 2023 NHL Draft in Nashville?
Mm-hmm. I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
Yeah, this has been a long-awaited video. We apologize for the lack of some of our content here on YouTube and Rumble. And we're getting ready to launch a lot more stuff here soon. We're starting to get caught up. It felt good today to get a lot of work done on the back end to get ready for the upcoming video. So we're really excited. As long as schedules line up, we're going to be hoping to pump out a bunch more of these coming up soon. So, but for tonight, we will be talking about our trip to the NHL draft down in Nashville. So the NHL draft this year took place at Bridgestone Arena, which is home of the Nashville Predators, who Jose and I are repping tonight. And for us, going from Michigan, 9 hours, 57 minutes, and just about 550 miles or 650 miles. Excuse me, 650 miles. It was definitely quite the trip. We had a few things happen along the way back, a little bit of car trouble, but we were able to fix the car in the AutoZone parking lot, and I got Jose home safe and sound. So I fulfilled my promise to make sure that we got back safely, and we did. But that was definitely a lot of driving, almost 20 hours of driving in just a few days, but it was definitely worth it. We're going to tell you more about that in a moment. So this is Bridgestone Arena. It was really cool to walk up to Smashville and see that they had this like area set up where they had like these gates and everything, and then they had the banners hanging out. We didn't go to the awards or anything ahead of time. We were just there June 28th and 29th for the draft, and you can see right over there where like it staggers, where it's like the blue banners and the yellow banners. That's where the basically the photo ops are taking place, and you can see the red carpet extends out. The first night they did have a lot more security over there. This was actually the second day when there was a lot less people. We could get some good shots of the building, but that was where the players would walk across. They get their pictures taken in front of where it says NHL draft and those three banners there in the middle. Then they would finish out taking the red carpet into the building, and then they actually had to have their own tickets and everything to get in as well, and they had to go through security. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later, what it was like to be on the other side of this and actually be in the building when everybody was coming in, because when we first got there was a ton of people waiting outside to get photos of everybody pulling up in limos and buses and all that stuff. I mean, it was madness. I mean, what did you think, Jose, when we first got there and saw all these people crowding around the red carpet?
I mean, it was cool. Um, Obviously, it's a different atmosphere rather than like a game. I mean, the draft is more or less about like prospects, actually getting their shot at to go in there to another team, to like a real like professional team.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a hardcore like player stat person. I just enjoy watching hockey and everything. But honestly, going to the draft for the first time was actually pretty cool. I mean, I definitely have some thoughts on the second day, but the first day was definitely fun. I mean, definitely filled with madness. I
Mm-hmm.
would, however, say um, the people there can get a little bit pushy because obviously they want like pictures and video of like players coming into the doors and everything. So they can get a little bit rowdy and everything. But I mean, honestly, I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, and it's really cool to go to an event like this where you're surrounded by fans of all the different franchises. I mean, all the jerseys were represented there. You saw people from all different teams and leagues and stuff like that. So it was really cool to see everybody come together for a lot of these guys. Their big moment, everything that they've worked so hard for, all the blood, sweat, and tears were, paying off those two nights, and hopefully being called by an NHL team and being able to join the franchise. So it was definitely really cool to be a part of that. This was actually our view from day two. So we actually had some pretty good seats day 2. Day 1, I think there's a photo later we'll show you that we were in the upper deck due to the pricing of the tickets and everything. But we're really, it was really cool to be in the building for such a monumental moment when you have a person in Connor Bedard, a player in Connor Bedard that is supposed to be a generational talent, and to be able to go and see him get drafted was really cool and everything. So that was really sweet. I was glad that we actually did have the opportunity to get this. I know that there's in years past I had thought about going to the draft, but it never really crossed my mind enough to where it was going to push me to actually go to the draft. But I'm glad that Jose was able to go with me. We definitely had a good time. We're going to tell you more about that here in a second. So for parking, the NHL draft actually took place in Nashville, and there is not a lot of parking like right next to the arena because the arena is in downtown, and so there's all these different outer lots, and they're all different prices. There's parking garages. I know Jose and I were getting a little frustrated because we actually didn't stay downtown, so we stayed in one of the suburbs and then commuted into the draft for both nights. But it was definitely difficult to find some of the closer lots because a lot of them, as we were getting there to get ready for the night, everything was showing up as like lot full and everything. But we were able to find this lot, which was kind of cool. We marked it on our calendars because we ended up using it the next night. But it was really cool that you just had to go over, scan the QR code, and you were able to pay right there on your phone, set everything up. And what it did was, as you left, I don't know if you can see it in the first photo, but off to the right there's when you drive out of the lot, it actually photographs your license plate, and then it'll charge you based on how long it was when you checked in on the app and set everything up, and then it charges you accordingly. So we stayed there the maximum amount of time both days. So I think it was $15 a day to park there, which wasn't too bad. We had a little bit of a walk. It was probably a quarter mile. I wouldn't say it was a half mile, maybe like a quarter mile. We weren't very far off the strip, but it was definitely nice to be out there. And this lot didn't really fill up and stuff. So there is plenty of parking out there, guys. It's just sometimes if you want to get real close to the arena, that stuff is going to fill up pretty fast. But like I said, we were like a quarter mile away, and it was $15 a day to go down there. And I'm going to probably do this again when we go down to Bridgestone to watch a game. Is just park at a lot like this, not worry about getting too close to the arena because the walk really wasn't that bad. All right, next up is the tickets. So definitely a difference in price from day 1 to day 2. We actually got these tickets as soon as they dropped on Ticketmaster. We were actually I was talking to Jose while it was loading, and we weren't sure what was going on. We'd never been anything like this. And with all the hype surrounding Connor Bedard and some of the other prospects, we weren't really sure how fast the tickets were going to sell out. But we were able to get our 2 tickets, as you can see there. And I know it's a little small, but it was $174.31 for our upper bowl tickets when we were there, which wasn't too bad considering what we were going to. You can definitely see a big difference in day 2. It was only $47.07 to go to day 2. So if you're trying to go check it out and you don't care to be there on day 1, you can go to day 2. It's a little bit more budget friendly, but you aren't going to have as much going on. It's not as extravagant as it was the first night. So, but we were monitoring the tickets, and I mean, for what we paid, we paid the cheapest that we saw for a while. People were reselling the tickets for over $100 for a while before fees and everything. Cause I think it was $65-70 before fees. And then after all the ticket processing and the taxes and all that stuff, it came out to $174.31. But what I'd like to ask you, Jose, is what are your thoughts on the ticket prices for this? I mean, do you think that these prices were fair, or do you think they were pretty inflated just because of the prospects for that night? I mean, we had some really good prospects that got picked that night. Do you think that really played a big role in this price being that high, or do you think that that's what we're going to expect if we're ever to go to a draft again?
Honestly, I mean, I didn't really care. I mean, for my first time, I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm not really wanting to sit on the very lower bowl and pay $500, $800 or whatever it was. I mean, honestly, if for the first time, I say upper bowl's better because you get to see everything going on. And plus, honestly, you kind of get a better experience. I mean, sure, you could say, lower bowl's better because you sit more close to the ground, you see more action going on. But really, you sit in the upper bowl, you see everything. Like, you don't just see like what's in front of you. You see like everything.
Yeah.
But as far as the price, though, honestly, I think that was okay. Now, if it were
Okay.
like $200-300, then I'd be like, well, I want a better seat, so I might as well just upgrade. But honestly, for the second day, for what, $47, that's nothing. I mean,
Yeah, and it was
literally dropping
rounds
the
2
bucket.
through 7. Yeah,
Exactly.
and
Now, as far as as far as
Go
like
ahead. No,
the
you're good.
quality, as far as like the quality, like as far as like the prospects and everything, like I said, I'm there for like hockey and everything. But
yeah,
I think that was cool. I mean, you get to see them walk across the stage, kind of do the whole thing. But we'll definitely get into that here in a sec. But it was definitely a really cool experience.
yeah. And Jose was talking a lot about what it was like to be in the upper bowl. So we're going to show you guys a quick clip of what it was like in our seats in the upper bowl.
Thank you, Carolina. Present. Chicago.
So as you can hear, when they said Chicago, we were definitely in a very dominant Chicago section. Jose was rocking his vintage Blackhawks tee in support of Connor Bedard, weren't you? You're on the Bedard train.
I had only a few shirts to pack, and I figured why not pack a Blackhawks tee just because.
Just with the hype surrounding
I had, but no, I think I was definitely camouflaged in there. I wasn't really necessarily repping, but we'll stick at that. We'll stick it at that.
You were definitely among friends in that section, so
yeah,
you didn't have to worry about anything.
No, if I were
beer spilled on you,
if I were a Penguins fan, Golden Knights, or like, even
they
even
booed
a Bruins
the Golden
fan,
Knights.
It would have been game over. I would have had a beer thrown at me in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, they booed the Golden Knights.
They
a lot, which
hated them.
That was kind of funny. I thought that was hilarious. All right, let's move on. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the merch. I wasn't sure what to expect with the merch, and they really didn't have a ton. They had like the draft tee, which I thought about getting, but that was like $45. Almost bought one of the mini sticks, but they did have a few different pucks there. We'll show off the pucks that we did end up getting here. So we did get the official draft puck 2023, and then the one that Jose has in, that'd be your right hand, is one that has all the teams on it, which I thought was really cool. It's actually a white puck, and the reason why I have mine in a case, I will show you what happened after we got in to the building and walked around the concourse, and we saw where the red carpet ended.
Hey, Connor, can you sign this?
So I got this signed by Connor Bedard. There was a kid that had a poster out, and he was having like every prospect that went by was signing it, and so it was really cool that I held that out next to the kid. He grabbed it, signed it, so it was really neat. And we saw that they were going for quite a bit on eBay. A lot of the ones that we saw were this puck right here, but nobody had this one that was signed. So I thought it was
I do want to make a note. When we did check eBay, like we just checked because why not? We're there. There are already 1-2 listings, and they were asking like $500.
Yeah, it was quite
insane.
a bit.
It wasn't even 20 minutes later, and they're already asking $500. But
yeah, there was the one that literally it was just a guy had the picture of the puck sitting on his lap, like at the arena, like he was there. Like you could have just messaged him on eBay and say, "Hey, where are you? I want to buy this puck. Can I just Venmo you the $500?" You know,
500.
Like I thought it was really cool. And I'm glad, even though it is on the back of the puck, because he was using a black marker. Because I'm like, well, if he puts it on the front, or if he's using the other puck, it's like you're not going to be able to see it. So at least this way you can see it. And as far as I know, it's one of the few out there that he signed of that puck. But they did have some cool stuff there. Then as we were walking around the concourse, we saw that they had one of those jersey carousels, and we saw that the Predators were actually selling some of their stuff on clearance because a few players left. So Jose and I both picked out jerseys, and yeah, you can see Jose's excitement on his face that he
Yeah,
found.
you always have
an
a
authentic-
habit of capturing my angles at a really bad moment, and it makes me feel very insecure. Thanks, Tyler.
It was fun. We had a really good time, and we're both repping our new jerseys. These jerseys were the authentic ones, which, in time, Adidas isn't going to be making these anymore, and I think Fanatics is coming in. They're just going to be trash. So we're really glad that we got these. Regular price on these was $299.
Oh,
After fees and everything, we got them for $82, which was
I still have
amazing.
the tags on mine, so just for comparison and everything.
Yeah. So yeah, $299 marked down to $75. And a
Mhm.
lot of people were looking at him. Even like mine's Johansson, and I don't think he's on the team anymore. I don't really follow the Predators. If he still is on the team, or if he's not, just let us know in the comments below. But yeah, it was a really cool jersey to get. I mean, to have an authentic jersey for what it was $82.31 after tax. Like that's a steal, especially when in the future you're not going to be able to get this quality of jersey. I mean, I don't like Fanatic stuff at all. I think it's garbage. And so I'm glad I at least have something to rep next time I go down there. So it's some cool stuff.
Hopefully someone makes a I Hate Fanatics fan page on Twitter or X or whatever and Instagram, and then hopefully we can get them to just, I don't know, just acknowledge it somehow. They're going to be blocking people left and right, but yeah, screw Fanatics.
All right, Jose, that'll be your assignment after this. You will be in charge of starting the Twitter page to fight against Fanatics. So you'll single-handedly lead that campaign. We'll put the link down below once he has that available. You can join up, sign the petition on Jose's Twitter thread, and we'll get that fight going against Fanatics. So perfect. Thanks for doing that, Jose. I know the audience will definitely appreciate that.
My pleasure.
All right, next up is a concession. So there was definitely a lot of concessions in the arena, all the normal stuff, nothing too crazy. We didn't eat at the arena because across the street was Hattie B's, and I had been there before. Jose had never been there before. And I was so excited to take Jose there and have him try it for the first time. Jose, tell everybody about your experience with Hattie B's.
Honestly, worth it because, all right, arena food's one thing. You know what you're getting, whatever. That's, it's its own thing. Hattie B's, holy God, like, that was spicy. Like, for okay, my meal was like the first day, it was like,
yeah,
what?
we went twice, by the way.
We went twice. We went twice. It was worth it. Okay.
Yes.
My meal was like, what, $15, $16 or $18 or something
like that.
And it was good. Normally, I am not a spicy chicken sandwich person with, like, the coleslaw or any of that, but no, that was worth it. When you're down there in Hattie B's, like, yeah, it's worth it. You have to. The line was worth it, and I'll tell you right now, Tyler was out going to get pucks. I was waiting in line behind several people. The line just kept moving, and I'm like, Tyler, you got to get over here right now because I'm not about to exit this line and wait another hour. No way. So comes back, we get in line, order our food, takes a few minutes to get to us, and then try it. First bite in, I'm like, okay, this is seriously one of the best chicken sandwiches I've ever had.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not even okay. It's not even expensive. It's not even expensive. I would get it 100% again. Next time I'm going to Nashville for anything, I'm going to Hattie B's 100%.
Yeah, and then so this is a picture of what I got. I got like the light spice, so it wasn't like too hot, but I did get the pimento mac and cheese, which is one of my favorite sides that they had. And then for dessert, we had the peach cobbler, which was amazing. Jose hadn't had that style of peach cobbler before, and he just the look on his face after he took the first bite, was like, man, this is good. He just devoured it in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, I have
so
a habit
good.
of doing that. Ask anyone that knows me. I have a habit of devouring my food just like that.
He is one of the fastest eaters that I have ever seen in my life. So yeah, it was crazy, but we had a really good time. You can actually see the arena behind there. They had a few other people set up on the street there. That's Broadway Street, and so there was other people set up, but we were on a mission to get Hattie B's. So if you're ever in the Nashville area, even if you're not there for a game, check out Hattie B's. There is a few different locations around the city, but this one is perfect because it's right next to the arena. You can get there, park early, go get some Hattie B's, go to a game, and just have a wonderful time. And then if you're still hungry afterwards, hit up Waffle House, and it just completes the trifecta. Wish we did do that. So, yes, Hattie B's and Waffle House. You know, we're from Michigan, and we don't have these restaurants near us, like close by. So we got to hit them up when we're in the area. All right, atmosphere. So the atmosphere was kind of cool. It was kind of chill. And one thing that was really sweet that I didn't know that they were going to do, I kind of figured they were going to do this, but I wasn't 100% sure. But they actually did have the Stanley Cup there. And as you can see, we kind of have, at least Jose's got that like defeated look on his face. My face is all red. It was hot down there. It was humid. It was bad. And I was hoping to wear my Michigan jersey down there to support Fantilli. I'm so glad that I packed my Nike Michigan tank top because it was so hot down there. Even though we were inside, like we were still roasting. Everybody else down there is like wearing jeans and jerseys and stuff like that. And Jose and I, you know, shorts and t-shirt, and we're like dying. Like my face is red. You can see Jose is just glowing. And yeah, it was rough for the first little bit getting down there and getting used to everything. But we did have a really good time. Like I said, it was laid back. One thing that we saw when we were going around the concourse, which I was really surprised, not a lot more people were doing this. The line wasn't very long. Like literally, like the line setup was maybe like 15, 20 feet. Like only like 10 people could get in line at a time. But what we did is we got these personal cards made by the Upper Deck team that was there. And these are like official Upper Deck cards. And it says on the back, the 2023 Upper Deck NHL Draft took place in Nashville, Tennessee, June 28th, 29th. The event was held at Bridgestone Arena, home of the Nashville Predators. Enjoy this personalized Upper Deck trading card to commemorate the 60th year of the NHL Draft for years to come. So, yep, there's the back there. Really cool. They did have the little penny sleeves, but I did bring I had top loaders with me in the car. So we top loaded these suckers, and you can see down there we were able to type our name in, and it printed them out. Actually, yeah, this was like they printed out like the picture, and then the lady was like making the cards. So they had like some gear there. As you can see, we had like sticks, and there was like gloves and stuff like that. And yeah, it was really cool. And I wish I would have remembered this to take a picture of it, but I showed Jose this. So there was a guy who went through the line ahead of us, and he made one of these cards, but he just put Connor Bedard at the bottom. And there's nothing here. And he's like, yeah, this is a 1-of-1 Upper Deck Draft Connor Bedard card. And he sold it on eBay, and it got like $60 after. Like he started off at like 99 cents, and they were giving these away for free. That was really cool. It was a free thing. They were also giving away free stuff in the area outside of the arena. Like we got like bandanas, and we got some cards, and didn't we get like some kind of like necklaces they were tossing at?
Yeah.
Or something like
Outside of the arena before the draft even happened, they were doing like free giveaways. You go up to this table in this little tent, spin the wheel, and then it lands on some random prize you get. I got like a bandana, I think, and then Tyler, what did you get?
I think I got the necklace thing or the sunglasses.
Yep, still got it in the archive.
Just some cheap tchotchke stuff, but it was just kind of cool.
Yeah,
so,
and
it was neat.
I kind of appreciate it when you know like when events kind of do that. I mean, it gets people engaged rather than okay, we're here to see an event or a game. Oh yeah, whatever. But not everyone's gonna do it. But I don't know. I just kind of put them in my higher tier list of things that people or the event organizers do. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of corny. I mean, let's be honest, it's kind of corny, but I mean, it's cool. It's just more free swag.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was really cool. The guy we were talking to in line said that we could come back and do this again. So yeah, most people I don't think went and did it each day, but it was really cool that, as you can see in the one picture, the second day was a lot cooler. So I was able to rock my Michigan jersey, and there was still quite a bit of Michigan fans walking around. Then Jose and I did this right after we bought these jerseys. And so Jose's repping his brand new jersey there. So definitely a lot of fun. I really enjoy this. This is like besides the puck, which I think is really cool, I don't know. I think this is one of the coolest things I think that we've received like on a trip so far, to have a customized upper deck trading card thing. So I think that was pretty sweet. So that was neat that they had this. I was wondering if they were going to do something like that, with upper deck being the big headline sponsor. So yeah, so this was the view from our seats the first night. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. As you can see, there is quite a bit of people there. So to the left side there of the lower bowl, that's where a lot of the players were sitting, because then they walk down to the black like stage there and then wrap around. So yeah, the first night, one round, it's like 3-4 hours, whatever it was, because they have the commercial breaks. And you can see down there in the right hand corner, you can see some of the cages there for some of the news outlets that were there. And then all of those tables that are up on the angle, that's all media. So we'd like to, if we can, at some point in the future, if we go back and this thing gets, we grow and stuff like that, I think it'd be really cool to get media passes. So I don't know, that might be a few years down the line. I know next draft is in Las Vegas next year. So I know Cody was talking about possibly going, and so we might go back and do that. I don't know. It'd be really cool. So maybe you guys will see us in Vegas next year for that. One other cool thing is, so on the first night, they had this stage set up on Broadway Street. So that Broadway Street is the main street that has all the honky tonks and bars and everything like that. And they had the stage set up, and they had different artists and stuff playing. I thought it was kind of cool that it was, or funny that it was, if you see there on the bottom of the banner, you see that it was supported by Tractor Supply. Was kind of funny. You're in a country town, then you got the Tractor Supply there. So we have a lot of those here in our area, because we're both from a farming community, so we kind of relate to that. But I thought it was kind of funny. And then this was the nightlife, as you can see, Broadway Street right ahead there. You got I've had family members call that the Batman building over there. It looks like something out of a DC comic, that AT&T building. But yeah, it was just really cool, really chill. It was a really nice night. It was still really humid, and we were still like dying of like the heat exhaustion. But like I said, we ended up getting used to it. And then the next day, this day 2, they had it all cleaned up by the time we went down to get ready for day 2 to watch rounds 2 through 7. So yeah, that was quite interesting. But yeah, you can see right down there, that's Broadway Street and all the different bars and stuff that are down there. And then yeah, like I said, that's the puck that I got signed by Bedard. And then this other photo. So when we were there, I think I had already sent him the picture or something like that, but I told Cody what we were doing, where we're at. Then he sent me this photo, and you if you see the gentleman there with the yellow shirt in the middle of it, and right behind him, you see a guy that's holding his phone up. That's me. And then Jose's right behind me. You can see part of Jose's face next to my elbow. But yeah, we were right there just watching Bedard, and it was kind of funny that Cody spotted us on TV for that. We weren't right there in front, but it was really cool that he was able to catch that. So that was kind of interesting. And then one other really cool thing. So when you're at the draft and you're walking around, especially day 2, benefit of that is there's not as many people. And then like we walk by players, we walk by prospects, we walk by management people and everything. And I was really excited to see Phil Picard. I'm not exactly how to pronounce his last name, but he's the guy that handles the Stanley Cup. If you see all these boxes that are in front of them, they had all the different trophies there from the Hall of Fame building that's in Toronto. They brought them down, had them all set up, and it was really cool that I got to meet him, talk to him for a minute, and I actually found this ticket stub on the ground. So Jose and I actually didn't, get ticket stubs because we bought the tickets online, but it's really cool. I found this on the ground, picked it up, and like 10, 20 minutes later, we saw him, and I'm like, I want something for him to sign. Like, oh yeah, that ticket stub I just picked up. And so I had him sign the day 2 ticket stub, which I thought was kind of cool. So it was nice to meet him. I was definitely not expecting that, and I wasn't expecting this either. So we had the guys there at the game that definitely thought Fantilli was going to go to Anaheim, which they took Carlson over Fantilli. So some of the guys jumped the gun, and hopefully he's not going to be able to get his money back, but hopefully he can do something with that. But yeah, it was kind of interesting to to see multiple fans like that. He wasn't the only one that did that, but there was multiple fans that were definitely upset of where their prospects they thought they were going to get ended up going. So that was quite interesting. And then day 2, we were able to go down and get really close to where all the action was happening, which was pretty neat. And then that other photo there on the left, we were there to. My big thing is I was going down to see where Fantilli was going to go. Watched him play a lot this season, and it was really cool to see that he went to Columbus. And it's really cool that he's actually going to be close by. So if I do go to a Columbus game, which maybe happen this season, who knows? But it would be really sweet to see him play again in an NHL uniform. And one other thing that Jose wanted to talk about, and you wanted to talk about your experience, but from a day 2 perspective. So go ahead and talk about that, because he was mentioning this before we went on. That, yeah, I'll let you talk about it. So go ahead, Jose. Talk about what you wanted to bring up between the day 1, day 2.
Okay, so day 1, action packed. Everyone knows this. You're gonna get your money's worth. For what's gonna go on. Day 2 is a bit of a weird one, because unless you know someone or have been following a player, like a certain player from a certain league for some time, honestly, no one's really gonna care. I mean, I hate to say it, but I got bored. We were there for the whole thing. We considered leaving just a few rounds in. I'm like, okay, I've kind of had it. I'm like, all right, this is the same thing. Rinse and repeat, take a 5-minute break, whatever, and then start again. It goes on for a long time, et cetera, et cetera. But honestly, I don't think it's worth going to day 2. I mean, just because, like I said, if you're not following a certain player or players, then, you're just kind of there to just chill out and kill some time. I'm not saying it's not worth it, but
you're just saying from the perspective of somebody who's not following a lot of these prospects, just being a fan of hockey, as you are.
Yeah, as a fan of hockey, it's just kind of boring. I'm sorry, it really is boring. It's cool, good for them. Congratulations, they get drafted. That's awesome, but as a fan, not necessarily looking at it from players or stats or any of the high detail stuff, I just got bored. I hate to say it, I really just got bored.
I understand. Yeah, there was times when I got bored, and then they had that. Remember that announcement that they made halfway through, because a big thunderstorm came through, and they suggested everybody stay in the building and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been getting into a lot more of the lower league, so there was a few names that popped up that I had heard before, but not many. And I totally understand what you're saying. Yes, the day 1, all the hype is there. There's a bunch of stuff going on, so they don't really care too much for day 2, but it is still really cool. If I was to go back, I still would go back to both days, just because it's it was nice to go down and just have an extra day to chill in the area, hang out in the arena, everything like that, be among other hockey fans and just talk hockey. And it's a little more laid back than obviously a game and everything. So I would definitely do it again. I know, Jose, you're definitely on the fence on whether you go to day 2. I know if we go to Vegas next year, I talked to Cody about this. He definitely wants to go to both days, so I probably will. We'll probably all hit up game or day 1, and then Jose would just be hanging out on the strip or at the slots or something like that, winning millions of dollars or something. While
I'm just gonna fly off on my Gulfstream. You'll never see me again.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll never see Jose again. So yeah, over a year from now, we won't see Jose again. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, that was it was definitely interesting. Yeah, day 2 went definitely a lot quicker, because they did 5 rounds or something, 6 rounds in the same amount of time it took them to do the 1 round. And because they're pulling up all the people, all the organization people, and making sure they shake all the hands and all the photo ops and everything. But day 2 is definitely more laid back, and it goes a lot quicker. All right, so the puck score for this. After I did this, I'm like, man, this seems kind of low, but I also think that it's fair. So I put a 7 for parking, 7 for tickets, 8 for merch, 8 for concessions, and a 9 for atmosphere, giving them their initial puck score of 39. So do you have any comments or anything you'd like to add to any of these numbers that I gave them?
Parking, tickets, and merch, all good. Concessions, I would rank that higher because Hattie B's was legit.
I was just going off the arena itself.
Yeah.
If I was going strictly off Hattie B's, it'd probably be an 11. But we can't do that. It's only out of 10.
Yeah, atmosphere, honestly, I think was pretty fair because day one was absolutely electric. I mean, the first few names, obviously, everyone was going crazy for. After that, kind of slowed down, but then it kind of gained momentum and then slowed down. Yep. But I honestly, even for day two, I mean, I think it was okay because you could hear some people in certain pockets of the arena just going crazy because I mean,
families.
you told me at the arena, some of these players, I mean, for them it's a huge freaking deal because it's not necessarily from this level, it's all the way from this level. But overall, I'd say that's a pretty fair score.
Yeah, and then I thought that with everything going on, with having the other stuff going on outside, the being able to do making the cards and getting autographs and stuff like that, I gave it an extra 2 points on the wow/X factor, giving it a total of 41. So I know this is kind of like a lower score than what we've done in the past for some of this stuff, but at the same time too, it is a little bit different experience. So I would think that some of this would actually change from year to year, obviously, because it moves around. So when we do the one for next year's draft in Vegas, I would like to do a comparative part of that game experience video that we're going to do, and then talk about the similarities and then see if it lines up about the same, or if Vegas did it way different than what they did in Nashville and everything. So it'd be kind of cool. I think this is one of those things where you have to go to a couple just to kind of get a feel for it, because I think each organization that hosts it is going to handle it a little bit different. And then also depending on the sponsors, and then even too, depending on what kind of prospects you have. I mean, Connor Bedard is one of the biggest names to get drafted in a long time. So I think that also had something to do with it as well. If Connor Bedard was going to be drafted next year, I don't think it would have had as much hype surrounding it as it did. I mean, who knows? I mean, this was our first time ever going to the draft, so we're just telling you like it is from our perspective. As Jose said, we're not stat people. We don't really follow any players hardly, and so we're just doing everything for the love of hockey. And we knew that was something at some point that we had to attend just to get an experience for it. So, all right, what's left? So we still have quite a few teams left that we still have to cover, as you can see, and the list it's not really getting any shorter. We have 3 new teams that we've already added this year. So the first team that we went and saw was the Hamilton Kilty Bees. Let me know in the comments if you've actually heard of them before. Some of the people I was talking to ahead of time, they're like, well, what team? And the Elmira Sugar Kings saw both of those in the same weekend, September 16th and 17th. And then I think it was a week ago, I went and saw the Central Michigan Chippewas. And so, so that's what we've done so far this season, is just the 3, but we definitely have a lot to cover if we're going to try to hit that 30 team mark this season between now and the end of the season. And if you're not already, head on over and follow us on Instagram. We have been getting a lot more traction over there. Followers, viewership, everything is going up. So we appreciate each and every one of you that are following us over there. As you can see, we do have highlights from the new experiences that we've been to and the new league that we've been to. The GOJHL is where the Kilty Bees and the Sugar Kings play in. So that was the first time we'd seen teams in those leagues. That's the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League, a really cool competitive league, and we were glad to go out there and check that out. And then we have all the highlights broken down even further. So you can just look at leagues, you can look at teams. So go through, take some time if you'd like to, and check some of that out. Also, too, if you saw the link on there, that's our Linktree link. You can go and check out our Patreon. You can go support us over there. We have GoFundMe going for our trip to Sweden. You can have the links there for YouTube, Rumble, one of our sponsors, Hit Club, the Arena Tour, Elite Prospects, and many more. You can go over there and check that out. This is our Patreon page. We have 2 tiers right now. We have a 3rd tier getting ready to drop not too long from now. Right now we have the Puck Club and then the Puckscription. So head on over, check that out, read the details. If you have any questions about that, either leave a comment below or DM us on Instagram. And then also to the GoFundMe, that's to help raise money to kind of offset the cost of us going to Sweden and hopefully seeing 3 games over there. So any donations that you you give us are greatly appreciated, and we would love to have the support to go over there. And we want to do more of this content overseas, and it'll be possible with your guys' support. So anything you guys can give would be greatly appreciated. Also, too, Hit Club Hockey, we've been doing some different stuff with them. We had getting ready to release these. You can get them early if you join the Puckscription. These are our official Puck My Life game pucks in collaboration with Hit Club Hockey. We also have a merch line that's getting ready to drop too, along with some other Hit Club merch. So be on the lookout for that. That should be coming out real soon. You'll be able to get that stuff right on the Hit Club site, and we will have a coupon code ready for you guys to save on your order. And then we did do an update to the Arena Tour map. If you head over and check that out, we do have all the different arenas that we have been to that are all active teams. There is a few defunct teams that we have seen that are not on this list, like Jose has seen the Houston Aeros. I've seen the Detroit Vipers, but the Palace does not exist anymore. It's just a parking lot. So those teams are not on there. But if you click on the icons for each of the team, it will tell you which one of the crew members has been to that arena to see a game. So you can check that out. Go take a look at that. And if you have any questions or anything about that, or would like some help in making your own Arena Tour map, just let us know. I might do a video on how to make one of those and probably release it and give it to the Patreon people or something. So maybe something like that's coming down the pipeline. We'll see. And then don't forget, we do have the giveaway going on right now in collaboration with Dirty Dangles Hockey. And we did get some extra pucks from the Sugar Kings Hockey Club of the GOJHL. So first place, you will get a Sugar Kings puck, you'll get the wax, and you'll get a bar of their soap. And then second place will get a puck and a bar of soap. And then the third giveaway that we're doing, the puck that you see there is actually turned around backwards, and it's from a recent experience that we have been to, and that is a mystery puck. In order to do that, you have to share this to your story. That's how you get that. So there's a bunch of details, a lot of rules for this. Head on over to Instagram. Everything is laid out there. You can enter over there. The entries for that do end Saturday night, this upcoming Saturday night at midnight. So go over there and check that out and enter if you want to. So a lot going on right now. And that wraps it up for tonight. And Jose, do you have anything that you'd like to add on anything that we talked about, from our sponsors to our upcoming trips to some of the trips that we've gone on, what we're going to be doing next, any of it, merch, anything?
I guess one of them being Hattie B's is the goat of Nashville for food. If there's any other restaurant that wants to challenge that, please let us know, because I will personally go down there and taste it myself. I definitely would like to go to the draft next year as well in Vegas, because Vegas is honestly one of the coolest places. I mean, granted, you go to a strip once, you've seen everything, but not really. Let's see. Overall, I'd say the whole trip was pretty cool. I mean, for a hockey fan, just pure hockey fan, honestly, I enjoyed it. For the prices we paid for our hotel, and then for the whole draft itself, and I mean, just everything included, it was not a lot, because Nashville is definitely a fun place to be, but it also can be expensive. Definitely recommend staying outside of downtown Nashville, because it is very, very cheap. I will say parking, like Tyler said, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not that far of a walk. But I mean, it's affordable to the point where you could stay there for a few hours and not worry about it. Nightlife there, absolutely awesome. Coolest people that you'll meet. Overall, I mean, I just enjoyed it. I definitely go again, hockey related or not. I mean, I just had a good time, really.
Yeah, before we jumped on, Jose was saying how he really wants just to go to a game now down there. And now that he's gotten a taste of, no pun intended, of the Nashville area, along with Hattie B's, he definitely wants to go back. I definitely want to go back. It's a really cool area. It sucks that it is as far away as it is, to where we just can't go to that area more often. But it's definitely memorable when we do go down there, when we do make the trip. So I'm glad that you were able to go.
One more thing. The
Yeah.
Waffle House we went to, or that we were planning on going to, the night we got to our hotel. Yeah, they suck so hard because they said they were open, but they're closed for construction.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Waffle House, that's an L for you. That's a huge L. We were cooking. We were just waiting to cook, and then they just let us down like that.
But
How
the
dare
pub down the
was
road
worth
from
it.
that was awesome to
Yep.
to have some Guinness, and I had a Reuben, and you had the shepherd's pie. That's his go-to when we go to pubs. That's one thing. Like when we go on these trips, like we have like different types of restaurants that we like to go to, and pubs are definitely high on the list, and they're the ones that we've been to from Orlando to Nashville and other places have been really good. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I personally, I mean, I'll just say right now, I don't think we'll actually be able to make it down to Nashville again this season for a game. We have so much to cover that's close by, and so we're going to try to do as much of that as possible. And then with traveling overseas, possibly multiple times, there's a little bit of hint for you if you made it this far through the video. So yeah, we'll just see where we end up. I mean, at the beginning of last season, I didn't think we were going to be going to the draft, and we ended up going. So it's cool how things work out and how this journey has shaped over the last year. And you know, I want to thank you, Jose, for being a big part of that. And me and him put a lot of hours in the car and traveling around a lot of these ones, and you'll hear in an upcoming experience, I think we'll probably do it next, that we drove like 20 hours in like 2 days to go to one game. So and there's other aspects about that. We won't get into that right now. We'll save that for that one. But yeah, that one was definitely experience. So you actually see our level of the determination and resilience in going to these places. So yeah, thanks for going along for the ride, Jose. It was a good time, even though we almost didn't make it back when we were by Cincinnati and the car broke down. So.
Yeah,
But
no,
we
that
fixed
was interesting. It was fun. Yeah.
I fixed it. I do have a small background in automotive. I did work in a dealership for a little while when I was like in high school and stuff. So I was able to fix the car in the AutoZone parking lot, but we were able to get home. So yeah, it worked out. Well, all right. Well, thank you very much, Jose, for being on. I'm not exactly sure who I'm going to be on with next or what game experience it's going to be. I'm almost tired of predicting it this time because it seems like whenever I predict one at the end of a video at this time, it never ends up being that one. So we'll just see you guys next time. You guys have a great night, and adios.